Welcome, everybody, to the everyone. I've been doing that. Everyone, one as in dear ones. We're all one. Welcome, everyone, to the Living Oneness Gathering. I want to thank you all for being here and for being present for this beautiful shift that's happening, this beautiful evolution that's happening for humanity, for planet Earth, and for all of creation. And I just got, as I mentioned in my email invite, I just got back from Australia. I was supposed to be there for 5 weeks. I stayed an extra 2 weeks, and that because that's what I was guided to do. So, although it was challenging for my family, they understood that I needed to continue doing what I was doing. So, there was a lot that I was doing in Australia that I can't speak about because it's not purposeful and it's not guided. But eventually, I will probably tell most of the whole story somehow, one way or another. But at this time, what I can tell you is that for the 53 days I was there, including the day I landed, I was I was going to my dragon cliff every single day. And walking along the beach to the Dragon Cliff it's a meditative experience for me. I'm very present with the water, the sand, the earth, the sun, the air, the wind, everything. I'm connecting to the elements, I'm connecting to nature, I'm connecting to creation. And my practice was two things is just connecting with everything with deep reverence, whether it's a shell on the beach or a blue bottle, which is a jellyfish there. So you don't touch them because they'll sting. Or the ocean waves, or a grain of sand, or a plant, or a flower, whatever it is, I was connecting with all of creation with deep reverence. And my invitation for you is that that's something that all of us can do is as we walk along and go through our lives and take each step, is just pausing, not even so much physically pausing, but mentally pausing, emotionally pausing, and sinking into the heart and asking, what can I practice deep reverence for right now? You can have deep reverence for your breath. You can practice deep reverence for the tree that you see in front of you, the time that we're here together, this gathering. You can have deep reverence for anything and everything. Ultimately, I would love for you to have deep reverence for everything because what that brings is a deep sense of inner peace. Because if you have deep reverence for everything on the outside, then you must have deep reverence for everything on the inside. You can't have one without the other. And it's a lot of times it's easy for people to practice gratitude on the outside, gratitude and appreciation for everything around them, seeing the beauty of everything around you. But it's also important to bring that beauty and that practice of reverence and gratitude and appreciation to everything on the inside as well. So my challenge for some of you would be to practice deep reverence inside and out. But begin where you're comfortable beginning. Begin where maybe it's easy, or begin where it's challenging. If you like a challenge, like I do, begin where it's challenging. Just begin. Just begin. It's so easy in the world today to look upon the world and see the fear, the worry, the separation, the divide, the anger, the reactivity. It's easy to find that evidence. It's actually we're bombarded by it if we're immersing ourselves in that type of activities like the news and the radio and walking around and reading headlines and all those kinds of things. And I'm not saying we put blinders on and we're not aware of what's going on in the world, because I'm very much aware of what's going on in the world, but I'm very much aware of it on the level of energy and on the level of the emotionality of it all, because that's the level I work with. For me to really focus on the level of form and pick apart the level of form, it's not supportive. So I practice deep reverence for everything, and I bless everything. The flowers that are nearby, the plants that I touch. When I'm walking, I'm touching the leaves. They have a soul. They're alive. Everything's alive. Everything has an energy and an aliveness to it. And when you're connecting with nature, just even by brushing your fingers along a tree branch or touching a leaf or touching a plant, gently saying hello and practicing deep reverence, that has a ripple effect. That plant feels that, it goes down into the roots. It actually spreads out through the root system. Plants are really good communicators. Trees are really good communicators. And the ocean carries information and wisdom. It wherever you are, all of creation carries this wisdom, and so do you. You're no different than the tree, the plant. The beauty out there is the beauty that you are. There's a lot that happened in Australia, and I'm deeply changed from it. And I'm really setting an intention today to share the message that all of you need to hear, and to share some tools that came in that all of you need to add to a daily practice, because the energies that I work with I'm working with the balanced energy and the harmonized energy. I embody that. My work is to embody that fully. Every cell of my body, every space in my body and around my body, all of my beingness, all of my energy field is to embody that harmony and that balance and unity, consciousness, to be compassion, to be love in action. And I extend that out into whatever direction needs to be extended out. When I went to the rock cliff each day and I would do the activation that I was doing, it was like a ceremony. I had two actual clients come for a mini retreat while I was there, and they videoed me. So I will share that in the online community, in our Heart Led Living online community. But watching it back was very interesting, because I'm very present. I'm very in it while I'm channeling the activation. And when we are holding a clear intention to embody something that could support us and support humanity, you are having far more reaching and of an impact than you realize. A choice for love in the moment, a choice for looking through the lens of reverence, gratitude, appreciation, all of that has an impact. And as we look upon the world and we see all these things going on, how can you meet this with love? How can I meet this with compassion? How can I be the tuning fork, the messenger, the beacon? How can I contribute love instead of adding fear? That's your question, but that's my invitation for you to question in every moment. As I took the walk every day, there were days where it was overcast. There was a few days where it was really overcast and it was very windy. So I got to my rock cliff. I get to the top of the cliff, and then I have to step down into another part of the cliff, and then I stand on my power spot. And there was 2 days that I couldn't stand on the power spot, but I stood at the top of the cliff just because of safety. The wind was so high that I felt like I would have got blown off the cliff because it was quite intense. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm quite small, so I could really literally get blown off the cliff. So I did it at the top of the cliff, but nothing was going to stop me. No wind. I had at one point it was very interesting. So the out of balance energies that I'm working to balance. I'm a transmuter, so I'm basically I'm here to balance out of balanced energies. It's part of why I'm here. And so there was a period of time, a really good window where they were just, it was like these out of balance energies were really trying to stop me. I got to the top of the cliff and I walked out onto the part where I normally do, and the wind came up, and then it started raining torrentially sideways. So I'm doing my activation and I'm like torrential rain sideways. And then I finished it. I stayed there. It took 5, 10 minutes, but I stayed there the whole time. I was soaking wet. And then I walked back up to the top of the cliff and there was no rain. I looked back and it was literally just raining right on my power spot. And then there was no rain after that. Very interesting. The next day I came, the rain was at the beginning of the cliff. And so I was walking into the rain and it was pelting me this like toward me. And I kept going. And then that day I had to stand on top of the cliff too. I couldn't get to the power spot. But for me, I don't have to be in the power spot. I just like to be standing there. It's your intention, right? It's your intention. It's your awareness. Your intention is so much more powerful than you realize. And when you hold that intention, and this could be in the positive or negative direction, right? If you hold real positive intention or an intention that's going to uplift and support you and to support humanity, then that's what happens. That's what happens to some degree. The more clear you are with that intention, the greater the degree that it occurs. And the same thing with the opposite. So that's why you need to really be aware of your thoughts right now. If you are stewing in some negativity or fear-based thinking, then that's an intention you're putting out into the world. So call that back. If you catch yourself in those thoughts, call them back and call them back as soon as you can. And recenter yourself and come back into a clear intention for what can uplift you and humanity. What would support, what would be supportive, what would be a choice for love, what would be a choice for peace. If you can't get to some of the stretchier emotions, at least land in neutrality. What would be a choice for neutrality right now? How can I get to a place of neutral, not feeling consumed by that wormhole of fear? How can I at least get myself to neutral? And maybe that's coming to listen to one of the Living Oneness Gathering replays, or finding a song that sparks something inside of you. Do a little dance, go for a walk in nature, whatever it is for you that can help you reset. Just reset as soon as possible, because we're in such an accelerated time of with the global energies. There's such an acceleration from the time of a thought to fruition, to it coming to fruition. So that gap between you thinking something and feeling fear and something happening as a result of that is very quick. So call it back right away. Forgive yourself if you're there. It's okay. It's part of being human, but call it back right away and then find a way to get yourself back into feeling centered again. Reset. Go within, choose again. Go within, choose again. That's the practice. The one other experience I'll share was when I was walking to the rock. So when I get to the Dragon Cliff, there's a sandbar that comes across, and that sandbar, there's a bit of a rock blocking it, but then there's this gap where it's basically both sides of the ocean with waves coming both directions over top of the sandbar. And if the tide is low, it's no big deal. It's just sand and rocks and stuff. It's quite beautiful. But when the tide's up, there's water running in both directions. And sometimes there's big waves running in both directions. I learned after the fact that before I got there, the water at times was up to people's chest in that area, so people wouldn't cross the sandbar. So I was walking the one day and I noticed the tide was quite high, but I was also singing this new song I learned which the lyrics are, what happens now? The waters are rising, the waters are rising. So I'm singing that along the beach, and I'm like, I don't think I should be singing this song anymore because the waters were definitely rising. That's how literal creation is taking everything right now. So, anyways, that day I was realizing that the tide was the highest I've been since I was walking, and I was trying to get past where these rocks were and not get kind of pushed into the rocks by the waves. And then when I got to the sandbar, I realized that the waves were coming both directions higher than ever before. So at one point I braced because I saw the waves coming and they came up to my thighs. And I'm like, okay, I got to get over there really quick because you can easily get washed into the ocean into these areas. So I got over to my cliff and I went up and I did my activation, but I kept it short because I knew the tide was going up still. So on the way back, I set an intention and I was very clear that there will be a path and I will be able to walk through safely. I kept my shoes on this time so I could, be quick without worrying about what I was stepping on. And I stood where I normally would cross, and I got really clear guidance to step over to the left. So I went over left, I was following my heart, I was following my intuition. I stepped over to the left and I was watching the waves crossing over and coming over quite deeply. And I was standing there and I was in deep trust. And all of a sudden I heard the word go. And I went for it. And it was right when the two waves hit and canceled each other out. And the waters just like parted. And I literally was walking in like ankle deep water. And I got through. And then all the waves came again. So it was very, like, such a profound confirmation for me of the power of our intention and how powerful creators we are in the experience that's unfolding in front of us. So, lesson one, commit and hold steady in your commitment. Watch your intentions, pay attention to what your thoughts are, what you're thinking, what your thoughts are doing, and hold steady with those clear, pure intention thoughts, because those are going to keep you going. But the universe is wanting everything to come into balance as well. Creation wants to be in balance, the same way our body wants to be in harmony. So right now, if we intend, creation is actually meeting us. Like that, the universe was meeting me. It's like, here you go. Here's your path. Walk through safely because we need you to come back and do that again tomorrow. And I'm continuing to do that since I came back to Canada. I'm doing it every day in my backyard. And yesterday I went to a local forest, and there's one big transmitter tree. It's a transmitter and receiver. It's a global transmitter and receiver, so it sends messages to all trees everywhere. And I was doing the activation under that tree, and then I ended up doing it in a couple different areas as well in the park. So if you feel called to do something like that, just go for it. Even if you don't know what it is or what you're doing, just go for it. If you feel like you're to sit and pray in the middle of the trees or in the middle of in the water or whatever, do it. That's what we need right now. Even if you don't understand what it's totally doing, trust that it's doing something and it's contributing to what other people are doing as well. So trust it and do it anyways. And feel the energy of how you feel before, during, and after, because there's something that happens. And I'm going to challenge all of you to do some kind of activation, some kind of intentional movement, intentional prayer, intentional whatever, just something every day, even if it just takes 2 seconds. Mine takes usually 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes longer. Sometimes I was at the cliff for an hour or a half hour longer, but minimum, it's always at least 5 to 15 minutes. So it doesn't have to take much time, but it will have an impact. So I want you to take a deep breath. And before I take you in through a process of connecting, and we're already connecting right now, I want to show you, for those of you that when you're on video. I know those of you that are going to be listening to the podcast, if you don't see it on video, you can find it on video on YouTube. But I want to show you physically what I'm going to talk about. In between the brain, there is a membrane called the Falx membrane, F-A-L-X, Falx membrane. It's part of the dura, and it's one of the layers of the dura, but it separates the right and left hemisphere of the brain from back to front all the way. And this membrane, what I've discovered, it's not how the right and left brain communicates. The right and left brain communicates with the coloss. Anyway, I'm losing the word right now. Corpus callosum. Oh, anyways, that's the communication between the right and left brain. But the membrane is the separation, and it just holds the two hemispheres separate. What I've recognized when I was in Australia is that this membrane is being used by external interference or out of balance energies to come in through the top and weigh down and affect the third eye, but create a weight on the top of the head or create a weight in the brain. So then it's affecting the brain, and it really likes to use the left brain loop. And the left brain loop, I've talked about that in different teachings before, is where the ego really loves to camp out, but it's where our fear-based loops are, our worries, our concerns. It's like a big amusement park of rides that you just need to get out of completely. But what this energy does is it comes down and uses the Falx membrane to depress us. It depresses us, presses down on the membrane. It dampens your third eye, so it weakens or blocks or puts a fog in front of your intuitive knowing, and it activates the ego, the fear-based thinking, and the left brain loop. I talk about this more in the left brain loop in the Healer's Toolbox. If those of you that have the toolbox, you can check it out, but I'll try and give you a big picture right now as much as I can. So what this does is affects the whole brain all the way, the thinking brain at the front and the emotional brain at the back. So it can actually make you feel depressed. It can make you feel confused. It can make you feel afraid when you're not really afraid. It can affect your thoughts. It can affect your emotions. It can affect your physical body. It can affect your energy. It can affect everything. It can affect how you speak and how you feel. It's one of those interferences that's really, really tricksy. And I want everybody to be aware of it. So don't tune into the energy of what's coming down. You don't want to tune into that. I'm working with that. Ultimately, I'll deal with that, but I'm getting to know it first. And this is the one thing that I recognize is doing. So what I want you to do is imagine that membrane between the brains, or between the two hemispheres, is a sail. It can be like a big fan, like this. It's like spread out like a fan. It's going to go this way, front to back or back to front. And I want you to lift it above the head so that the light of it comes out through the top. And I always picture it, like some people talk about like a chicken, you know, when the chickens have, or the rooster has that thing, the comb on the top. I like to look at it as like a sail on a sailboat. Or you could look at it like a big fan when you have those beautiful Asian fans where you open them up. It's a fan. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through a process to activate it, to light it up. We're going to go all the way down the spine and up through the front. And we're going to activate your sail. So whenever I say sail to tail, that's what I mean. Sail from the brain to the tailbone. I have a dragon tail, so mine goes all the way out to my dragon tail. It's like, whew, goes up further. But sail to tail is from this Falx membrane down to your tailbone. And some of you are already feeling the effects of it. I can already feel it shifting in you, so that's good. But I want to see if how you feel right now compared to how you feel once we activate this. So just tune in for a moment, take a couple breaths. And just notice how you feel. And you might even notice it in the way of now that I'm talking about it. It's like, yeah, I felt a little pressure on the top of my head, or I feel like something's pushing down on my head, or I feel like a little foggy, or lately I've been feeling a little confused or easily reactive in the way of confusion or doubt. So let's take a couple deep breaths. And as you're there, just notice what's happening. If you bring your awareness to the brain, inside the head, go right between the right and left hemisphere of the brain. So imagine going right down the middle. And this sail will start underneath the brain. So it's not just the top of the brain, it actually starts underneath the brain. So under the brain, and it's going to hold kind of from the bottom of the three glands in the brain. And there's not just the pineal gland here, it's always also the pituitary gland and the thalamus gland. So from this bottom here, I want you to imagine a light illuminating that membrane and lifting it like a sail, opening it wide like a fan or a sail, lighting up that space between the right and left brain, and letting that sail and that light extend beyond the physical head. So it goes taller than your physical head, and it runs from the forehead between your eyebrows all the way to the back of the skull at the neck. And we're going to light it up. And we're going to amplify it. Imagine amplifying it, making that light, turning that light brighter. So that light becomes so bright that any discordant energy or any out of balance energy gets sent up and out of your energy field. Now imagine that beautiful Falx membrane light goes all the way down your spine, and it lights up each vertebrae all the way down the back of your heart space, the back of the solar plexus, through the low back to the sacrum. And the sacrum itself is a sacred bone. And imagine that sacrum is lit up, especially on the inside. Imagine this beautiful sacred light beaming through the sacrum bone. That's the triangle at the bottom of the spine. And then it goes to the tailbone. The tailbone is the tip, the coccyx. It's the bottom of the sacrum. So you've got this beautiful triangle sacrum bone lit up as well. And then you've got it all the way down to the tailbone lit up. So now across the pelvic floor, imagine more of a horizontal sail. So the whole pelvic floor lights up. And then from the front of the body, that light comes up the front of the body, through the lower belly, over the navel, up through the solar plexus, all the way up through the chest and the neck, center of the heart space, all the way to the chin. And then as it reaches the chin, it goes all the way back over the bridge of the nose to that point where we began at the forehead. So you've got a complete circuit, Falx membrane down the spine, sacrum, tailbone, pelvic floor, and this beautiful light coming all the way up the front, creating a circuit. And the energy can run back to front, and you can even have a second current going front to back. So you actually have a current front to back and then back to front if that feels comfortable. If it's confusing for your mind, just go with one current. And then turn that light up, amplify it. Where you're glowing radiant. This is pure, your pure light. And then set an intention. No external interference in my Folks membrane, and no external interference is allowed in my field. So from that space, then imagine from your heart, right in the middle of the heart is the source point. It's one source point we can use in the body. Imagine lighting up that source point and having it radiate light in all directions, 360 degrees, behind, front, sides, top, and bottom. This beautiful sphere of light radiating out in all directions through your field, all the way to the outer edge of your energy field. And just make sure your energy field for the moment, just for the sake of this exercise, and most times, unless you're needing it to be expanded, we're going to keep it about an arm's length in all directions. So the energy field around you is about an arm's length. And imagine that beautiful, radiant light coming from your heart is so strong and so pure that it burns off any and all discordant energy or energy that's not yours, any interference in your field, any out of balance energy that's not yours. I let it clear outside that outer layer, the 40th layer of your energy field. That's the outer layer. Take some deep breaths. So you've got that beautiful Folks membrane all the way down the spine, all the way up the front of the body with that beautiful light circuit. And then you've got this radiant light coming from the center of your heart space out in all directions, radiating so bright that it burns off anything and everything in your field that doesn't belong. Or it forces it out to the outer layer because it just, the space can't be occupied by anything but your own light. My field is clean, clear, and pure. That's the intention you hold every day. So what you're doing is saying no to unwanted guests in your field, to unwanted energies in the field, uninvited energies. Out of balance energies are not welcome. Anybody's energy that's not yours is not welcome in your field. Your field is your sacred space. It's your sovereign space. And we don't help anybody by bringing their energy into our field. We don't help ourselves that way either. So we want to keep our field clear and clean. The work we do, if we're healers and empaths, the work we do is in the 40th layer, where we can communicate and connect to all energies there, but our sovereign space within those 40 layers is meant to be kept clear and clean and pure. And just with our energies. That's why we're a unique expression of divinity. We're a unique expression of source. And we want that unique expression to remain pure so that we can be here and do the work and let source and divinity animate us, let love animate us in our humanness, in this human life classroom. So we can show up as pure light beings, walking through using this human avatar to communicate, to show up, to be present, to be a healing presence, to be a loving presence, to be a peaceful presence, to be a tuning fork, to be love in action. We are not here to fight. We are here to hold our light. We are not here to add fear in the way of concern and worry. We're here to bring love, to be messengers of love, to meet fear with love so that love expands. Your true essence is love. Your true essence is light, balanced energy. And remembering that dark energy and light energy in its purest form is balanced, is harmonized. So when I say you're here to hold the light, it doesn't mean you deny the dark. Dark energy is just as important as light energy. The two together is how we experience creation. That's how we can see and feel and sense everything. It's light and dark energy together in balance and harmony, like yin and yang. But we've been conditioned to be so afraid of the dark. The dark energy is not the problem. It's out of balanced energy that we need to be aware of. Out of balanced energy can be light imbalance, dark imbalanced energy. So out of balance light, out of balance dark. That's what we need to look at transmuting, harmonizing, balancing. So for now, embrace the light and dark energy within you. All the balanced energies within you, the light and the dark, are part of who you are. Embrace both. And if there's any fear, stir it into your heart. If there's any concern or doubt, worry, stir it into your heart space. Let it be processed. Let it be honored. Let it be witnessed. Let it be transmuted. And if it can't be transmuted, then let it be released so that Mother Earth can take care of it, or that it goes somewhere else to be transmuted. And if there's anything you need to know, let it be brought to your heart to be understood. So let's do a little clearing as well. What we're going to do is create a little vacuum at the bottom of your energy field. So the bubble that's around you in arm's length in all directions, we're going to put a little vacuum at the bottom. And that vacuum is very specifically only going to draw out of balanced energies. Out of balanced energies that don't belong to you, it's going to draw it out easily. Out of balance energies that are yours, it may need to be processed. So be willing to stir it into your heart, stir it into your central channel before it gets cleared. Anything that has something to teach you, let it be processed and brought to the heart to be understood. Anything else, let it be cleared. If it has nothing to teach you, just let it go. So if you're willing to draw out any energies from the bottom that are no longer serving you, that have nothing to teach you, that are out of balance, that are not needing to be transmuted by you, then let them be released. If you're willing to say yes, thank you. And then let them go down. Beautiful. And as that energy is being pulled out and drawn out at the bottom because it's no longer serving you, we're going to open up the top and just create a beautiful fountain from the top and fill the space that those energies occupied with fresh, pure, clear energy. Energy that will support you, that will uplift you, that will actually nurture you and nourish you. Energy that will empower you, energize you, enliven you. If you're willing to say yes, thank you. So you may have colors coming in, you may have different experiences of the energy, you may feel nothing, and that's okay. Just keep holding the intention to clear what you don't need through the bottom and invite what's purposeful and helpful and supportive for you through the top. This is all for you, you specifically, and it's all designed in a way that it's delivering exactly what you need right now. Trust it, trust it. It's a pure source coming in, pure energy for you. Yes, thank you. There we go, beautiful. And as we close that bottom, some of it's trickling, but we're going to close it as it's trickling so that it completes. As we close the bottom, then we have this beautiful energy filling up the space around you and within you. You've got that beautiful Folks membrane, your sail to tail, you've got that activated. All the way around, circuit of light. And then for grounding, I've only taught this a few times, but I'm feeling to teach it to all of you now. Instead of trying to ground in one direction, I want you to imagine grounding in two directions. First, you're going to ground through the earth, the way we would normally ground, or the way you would normally think to ground, through the feet or through the tailbone. Use that electromagnetic grounding cord. So you've got that main cord going down to the earth, to the center, and then you have a second coil wrapping around, so releasing any electromagnetic scattered energy. We need an electromagnetic grounding cord these days. And now imagine another cord of light leaving through the top of the head and connecting you right to your source point. Now your source point is in your heart, but there is a source point at the 40th layer as well. So in fact, the entire of all creation source is outside and within you. It actually folds inward and expands outward. So it's in and out, but sometimes the brain can't quite wrap its head around there. So for now, just imagine a beautiful grounding cord connecting to pure source, direct to source. No false source, no false light. We're going direct to source. Now I want you to imagine in that 40th layer, because that energy field is going around you in all directions, right? It's a sphere all the way around you. Imagine you could ground to source in that outer layer. So this is an experience of omni-directional grounding. Grounding in all directions, not just grounding to the earth. But what this allows you to do is to be free, more free from the physical limits that your brain might hold or think in the way of your limitations of the physical, geographical limitations. It can be physical boundaries of the body limitations. This allows you to go beyond that. For any of you that do astral travel or soul flight, this will help, allowing you to go and travel. I do that a lot at night. I go and I work with other people's energies. I work with different groups. I do different activations in the night. When my body is resting, my soul is off doing work. Some people call this astral travel. For me, it's a little different, but it's a common term. This will help with that. So if you are traveling, with whether you realize it or not, Sometimes you'll travel through dreams because it's more of a state where the brain will accept it. And then often there's more of an amnesia happening so that your soul remembers and your soul goes off, but then your human brain, your human mind doesn't have recall about it. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing. That's helpful. So omnidirectional grounding can support you in that. It allows me to do an activation here and be standing on the power spot in Australia, and be standing in a power spot in Egypt, and be standing in a power spot in Antarctica. So I can actually do the activation wherever my physical being is, but be in all these other places. They call that bilocation. I don't know what happens when you mean it's more than two places. It's like trilocation or quadruple location. Omni-location is where I am. So it really allows you to expand beyond the limitation or perceived limitations of the human brain or the human mind. And if you don't want to go that far and stretch your mind, then it just feels nice to do omnidirectional grounding. So practice it. There's just some energy at the back. I'm going to invite you to just lift it up and out. Some of you might feel some density back there. And for some of you, you might just need to fold it in. So stir it into your heart space. It's a little bit of your own self-doubt or fear. As I was stretching your minds a little bit and talking a little bit about stuff that for some of you on a soul level, you know you're meant to do, and then on a human level, you don't understand it, or on a human level, you're feeling afraid about it, and it's okay. Stir that into your heart space, process it, honor it. It's okay. There we go. Beautiful. Take some more deep breaths. So this is a practice I'm going to invite you to come back to and reuse daily until you've kind of landed and figured it out yourself. You'll have little adaptations, your own little versions of it, but this is a good foundation of the practice. And if you can do this daily, and it doesn't have to take this long, eventually you could just set it up real quick. Sail the tail. Sometimes I just put my hand up there, or in the beginning I would just put my hand up there and just flip back, and it's like it was done. So sometimes in the beginning there's a bit more of a practice until it becomes more second nature for you, and or just integrated. I don't think about it now. I don't have to do it. It just is there. It's integrated. But in the beginning, you'll want to practice it. And if you feel doubt or confused, or you feel heavy on your head, just go. This first thing you do is just go straight to your sail to tail. Go right there. Anytime throughout the day or the night. Take some more deep breaths. And then just notice how you feel now compared to the beginning. And then see if you can hold steady in that feeling and that sensation of being centered or clear, light, whatever it is you're feeling. And then bring your awareness back to your physical surroundings, but see if you can bring all of that sense and that feeling with you as well. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly open your eyes. And if you feel inspired to share what stood out for you, how you feel, whether you feel different, whether you feel better. Barbara, thank you so much, Sue. This was my first experience with you. Love it. Very powerful. Thank you, Barbara, for being here. I'm glad you came. Let's go up for a minute. There's another comment. Kim, I've been inundated with the left brain loop lately. So heavy, keeps me out of alignment. I have a process of seeing a lovely porch swing on my right brain. Yeah, that's nice. So you cross over. Yeah. Peaceful on your porch swing. I love that. I feel the whole body relax all at once. Beautiful. I've talked about the left brain recently as a like amusement park that's really busy and it's got lots of rides. And that amusement park is always there. So I'm inviting people to put like a closed sign or put like caution tape around it. Just don't go into the park. Like just don't go there because the left brain loop is still going to be there and you don't have to go back into it. If you find yourself there, recenter, come back to the center, go over to the right side of the brain. And it's not that we don't use the left brain. And that's why I love this Folks membrane exercise. So what I taught you today is how to use the exercise to keep that area clear of any interference. But that exercise also activates the right and left brain in a way that actually can support you. So it's it's a good exercise for activating the right and left brain because we want the left brain to be working. We just don't want the left brain loop to be what we're camping out in. All right. So Kim, definitely feel lighter on my brain. Yeah. Thank you. And Sheila was wired beforehand and I'm happy to feel centered and calm now. Beautiful. Marianne, I feel dizzy as I have two brain parts separated. It is amazing to feel the middle part. Guess I need to practice it. So now again, as I was just saying that, Marianne, it's like there is a like a separation with that light, but then let that light go into the right and left brain. So the next step would be to do the infinity sign, right to left, just at your forehead. So then you kind of bring the right and left brain together, working again. So you activate the whole brain. So that's another way you can do that. I had a lot of pain in the back of the neck and could fold it in. Good. Beautiful. Anna, feeling calm, very warm heart space and body more relaxed. That's Heather. Thank you, Heather. Becky, a bit of new energy. Nice. Beautiful. I will read all your comments after. Thank you for sharing. So moving forward, this is the question. Right now, there's such an accelerated energy, and we're very much being invited to be very, very present to the now. If you are a moment in the future, you'll feel discordant energy. If you're worrying about the past or thinking about the past in the way of like hooking you, you're going to feel uncomfortable. So being very present is important, and living in the now is really, really important, more than ever before. And I was working on two different time zones because I was booking stuff in the BC time zone, but I was in the Australia time zone. So I was working with two different time zones. And when I got back, I was still kind of like, where am I? What's happening? And I just decided that my new time zone would be the eternal now. I'm like, I'm in the eternal now. It doesn't matter where I am in the world. That's my time zone. So when I landed there, my mind and my body really kind of felt like it landed in that beautifully. So be present, be here now. Focus on what's happening in front of you right here now. Not what next, but what now? What now? And you'll get guidance and you'll feel a sense of what needs to happen in this moment. So just be very present, very steady in that the best you can. Omnidirectional grounding, if that feels good for you, feel free to keep going with that. I love it. It's like I landed at home. It feels really good for me. and I can feel connected to the earth, but I'm not held or tethered in any way. And I can feel connected to oneness and not be held or tethered in any way. So it's a really good exercise. Use your Falx membrane exercise with the light all the way down, sail to tail, and then all the way up through the top of the body, the front of the body as well. And continue to use this as a practice. If you are feeling heavy, you have interference in your field that you can't quite clear, for those of you that have the Healer's Toolbox, there's tools in there. I am going to be creating some new courses on the heart of intuition and how to keep interference out of your field. I'll do a course specifically around the ego, expanding on that. And so that kind of stuff is coming. But for now, just do the best you can. Follow your intuition. Keep your intuition on. Keep that level of discernment at a high level the best you can. Don't just pay attention to what people are saying. Pay attention to how you feel or what energy you feel behind the words. There's a lot going on right now, and you just need to really stay deeply discerning and use your intuition. With the imbalanced light energy, the light energy that's out of balance, it's tricksy because they might be saying all the right things, but there'll be something off on some level. So just be aware. It's not to make you afraid. It's just for you to be aware and to live consciously and recognize that your energy is important right now. Whatever you can do to amplify your field, whatever you can do to nourish your body and nourish your energy, what uplifts you, what drains your energy. Avoid those things that drain you the best you can, and find those things that will uplift you and amplify your field the best you can. Drink water, make sure you're hydrated, because the bioelectromagnetic conductivity is important. Moving your body is important right now too. So there's a lot of pieces that you can start to integrate, little things that you can start to integrate that will make a big difference. So next week, excuse me, is going to be the live experience. So I'll do the live healing experience. I'm going to teach some different things than I taught today. So I would encourage all of you to join next Thursday at 10 at the beginning of July 3rd, I think it is. July 2nd, July 3rd. And whatever that Thursday is. And we will go deep into an experience of moving some energies, but also activating some things that can help you moving forward as well. It's an accelerated time, but I'm on it. We're on it. Just hold steady, keep going. We've got this. And we are creating such momentum right now. When I was doing the activation at the cliff every day, I could feel it changing and shifting. And some of the pictures we had afterwards has this like beautiful rainbow hue around the island. And I could see there was lots of pictures we had with orbs in it and stuff. So there is some really powerful energies kind of gathering and working with us to create this shift on our planet. And I'm really excited. The one thing I will leave you with is to get clear in your heart what type of earth you are choosing to live on. One that is full of love, harmony, balance, unity, compassion, empathy, peace, or another version. It's up to you. The earth I'm standing on and the timeline I'm experiencing right now is very different than one that many people are experiencing. And we are standing between two timelines, two versions of Earth. A lot of people are straddling now, 1 foot in each. You get to take the leap to the one that you choose, but you need to be really clear about what you're choosing. And the more you can embody what you're choosing now will help you make that transition. So if you're wanting to choose, and if you're on this call and you're listening to this Living Oneness Gathering, chances are You'll be on the same earth that I'm going to be standing on, or that I'm already got my foot in. It's one with compassion, community, collaboration, unity, love. It's one that brings deep peace within all of us and for all. No one's left out. There's no fighting. There's no war. There's no fear because it's not necessary. That's the earth that we are moving toward. That's the earth that many of us are choosing. Keep choosing it. Even if you see evidence that shows you otherwise, keep choosing it, because at one point you're going to suddenly find yourself landed on that timeline in that new version of Earth. And you're going to just bathe in the gratitude and the appreciation and the deep reverence for the experience, but for the new pathway that we're all on. So our evolution is all leading to that pivotal moment. And when it happens, can't say for sure. It'll happen in the now, I can tell you that. Which now? I don't know. Your version of now in the moment when it happens. But in the meantime, just hold steady. We're on track. You've got this. And I look forward to seeing you next week at the live healing experience. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being such a beautiful presence in the world. Thank you for your light. Thank you for your love. Until next time, love and blessings.